Hello everybody, welcome in to Trackilicious. Today we go to round number 7, the penultimate round of the summer season in the Multiclass Championship. Today we go down to Valencia for this round today, and the on-track action already starting the drivers out on qualifying laps. Let's head there and check in with the GT4 grid as they work their way out onto the short but sweet track at Valencia to begin their first attempts at the qualifying session. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Doc. Hello, Rally. Hello, weirdest name ever. Welcome in, folks. Just a couple minutes into the session already, Justin Beachley will be the first driver to start his first qualifying lap in the number 18 Beach GT AMG. Popular car choice this season for the GT4s is the AMG, the two yellow ones of Justin Beachley, and now not yellows, Tai Chin, fighting for that top spot of the championship. See if the new black and red livery will bring any luck for Tai Chin to finish out the season on a high note. Hello, Ninja. Welcome in. Hope you are all doing well today. With the 207 now crossing the line to start their first push lap, a little bit out of sequence with those already starting theirs, if not almost coming to the end of them. Rally Atanashi, one of those drivers, another AMG on the grid in the 621 Dog Box Racing. Tom Winch and Bottini, the pair of Ginettas, are actually first across the line with Winch going a few tenths faster than Bottini, but Beachley improves that provisional pole time by a second. Rally Yatanashi goes to fourth. Hezzy Thomas comes out of the pit lane. Kevin Yu out of the final corner in the number 95 AMG. We'll see where he slots in with the top 6 already established. The number 95 can't get a valid lap on the board. It would have been a 141.3, which would have put him into 5th place. Tai Chin improves the provisional pole benchmark. It's a 139.245 from the number 207. Two Ginettas of Winch and Bottini finishing out their second laps. We'll see if they can slide ahead of any of the AMGs or Alpines ahead of him. Dr. Porkchop goes to 5th. As Bottini slides wide, that will invalidate his efforts and maybe invalidate his next lap also. Tom Winch improves his time by a few tenths of a second, but can't get close to Justin Beachley's time, who improves his time as well, gets a little over half a second behind Tai Chin, who is out on a lap, still improving. The lone Camaro on the grid belongs to Jacob Church in the 253 as he goes into 7th place ahead of Yatanashi and about 2 tenths behind the Ginetta of Bottini. Porkchop, a slight improvement on his time, but Brian DeSantiago will take a top 5 position away from him as he gets a little bit ahead of Porkchop, and Niall Jacobs will take that top 5 spot away. Or excuse me, not Niall Jacobs. Kevin Yu will slot into the top 5 because he makes it an AMG 123. We'll see if Niall Jacobs can improve, but it looks like he was slowing down to get himself a good exit for this lap. He needs about 0.3 of a second to get ahead of Tom Winch. Tom Winch in the 3.27 comes up to the line. Can he get an improvement? It was looking like a good lap, but at the end it fell away from him, and no improvements there for Winch. Can Justin Beachley improve? He can. He gets to the top spot by 0.8 of a second. Now what can Dr. Porkchop do in the 71 Alpine? In the final 3 minutes of the GT4 qualifying session, they get the first 10 minutes. And the 71 comes up to the line, needs 1/10 of a second to get ahead of DeSantiago, and can't find an improvement on this lap. And DeSantiago behind also can't find an improvement with the BMW crossing the line. Just a couple of laps left for these two now. Now Niall Jacobs, the only driver in this part of the lap, gets a personal best on the board, solidifies his position in the top 5, but can't quite get up to the time of Tom Winch. Needs less than 1/10 to slot ahead of the Ginetta and make it an AMG top 4. And on board with the 253, you say? Well, here is the 253. We'll get the closing sector. We'll see if he starts another lap or not. But we can certainly do the final sector here with the 253. The little bit of hill change there is, and the slight bit of curbing there is at that corner there in the final sector. Now into the final corner, slinging it down the hill, trying not to run too wide in the 253. But this effort, unfortunately, is invalid for Jacob Church. So he will go around once more. We'll tune in with the 253 once he comes to the end of his next qualifying lap. But during the race, for sure, we will get an onboard with the Camaro. Coming up to the line is Tai Chin and gets to provisional pole position by about 2.5 tenths clear of Justin Beachley. Final 30 seconds left. Final laps for all these drivers. Tai Chin runs a little bit too wide at turn 1, and that is the lap done and the session done for the pole position sitter at 1:38.982. Time to chase. What can Hezzy Thomas do in the number 59 Dog Box Racing? Now through that final sector. Thomas pushing out of the corner. Needs about 0.7 of a second to get up to Jacob Church. Does he have that in the bag here? Comes up to the line and can't quite improve on his personal best. That'll be the session done for the number 59. Currently currently sitting ahead of Rally Yatanashi. What can Kevin Yu do? Justin Beachley back in the pits. So Tai Chin at the moment, at least safe from Justin Beachley. Can Kevin Yu get the improvement here? Needs a second or 7/10, excuse me, to get to Justin Beachley, and no, but does improve on his personal best to get a 139.870 on the board. And that is the GT4 session done. They are all back in the pits. The GT3s out on track. Ryland Arnold, one of those. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it because it's the livery that you sent me is working on the Yatanashi car. So, not sure if there's a selection issue when you're joining the server. Short and sweet GT3 field tonight. Ryland Arnold out for his first push lap now. 7 minutes to go. In the qualifying session, Matt Ogilvy will be the first to set a benchmark, running a touch wide at the final corner. We'll see what the 75 BMW can do. As he comes up to the line. Fortunately, no valid lap there for Ogilvy, so it's going to be the 664 of Devin Anthony who gets a 133.1 on the board and goes to provisional pole. What can Sam Zawisa do in the Ferrari? And again, no valid lap on the board. Just Devin Anthony so far, a 133.145 is the benchmark for the GT3s. One Bigley, thank you for the donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always happy to see you on the grid. And there is another lap time on the board from the GT3s. It's Isaiah Horde with a 132.755, about 4/10 clear of Devin Anthony's Lexus. What can Prakash Natasan do in the number 82 Bentley? His last lap would have been a 133.9 or 133.3 if he could have kept it within track limits. We'll see if he can do that this time, though, in the number 82. He's got Devin Anthony and Matt Ogilvy ahead of him, looking to set his first valid lap, but he won't do so. It looks like he ran wide at the final corner. And Devin Anthony improve and take provisional pole away. He can. It's a 132.45 for Devin Anthony. What can Natasan do? Gets into third place. About 3/10 behind Devin Anthony, but very close to Isaiah Horde, separated by just 17 milliseconds. Ogilvy, Arnold, and Zawisa still looking for valid laps. Cheers, thank you for the hydrate. Got some tea on offer as there is a big slide from the Porsche on entry going into turn 11. Keeping the car within track limits though, so this will be at least a valid lap on the board as Isaiah Horde will retake provisional pole. puts about a 10th and a half between himself and the Lexus. Very tight times at the top there. Where will Arnold slide into all of this? Gets on the board ahead of the GT4s, but we saw him have that moment at turn 11, so just needs to clean up a little bit for on this next lap, and he should be right there with the top three. What about Sam Zawisa? What can he do in the Ferrari? A bit of tire squeal through the final corner, but the 52 should get a valid lap nonetheless here, and does so. Slots into 4th place, about 2 seconds behind provisional pole sitter Isaiah Horde. And Isaiah Horde is looking to improve still. Can he put more separation between himself and Devin Anthony? He does. Nearly half a second between them now, as the Lexus looks to respond on his next lap. Tai Chin getting curse protection. Lucky for everybody, no Tyler today, so no curses. And Arnold improves his time by 1.6 seconds. Big improvement there from the Porsche. Does the Lexus of Devin Anthony have a response? Improves his time by about 2.5 tenths. Cut that deficit in half. Now needs a further 2 tenths to get back onto that provisional pole position. Rally and Tai Chin being given some energy as well. Thank you for the hydrate one, Bigley. Devin Anthony finding a few tenths. That gap shrunk between the top two, but Isaiah Horde looking to open it up and does so. A 131.730, another 2 tenths between himself and Devin Anthony, growing that gap to 0.442 seconds. Oh, and some tire squeal from Horde, and off to the side of the road goes the Audi, and back into the pit lane. Ogilvy running wide invalidates the lap, but he should be able to cross before the time hits 0, but elects to just pull off and return to the pits. That just leaves us with the 77 of Arnold. Devin Anthony, no improvements as he crosses the line. He will pull off and return to the pits. Prakash Natasan invalidating his lap early on. Sam Zawisa trying to improve the time of the Ferrari. Can he get close to Natasan? He got closer, but still a second between the Bentley and the Ferrari. But Ferrari of Zawisa will go around for one more lap here, as Natasan returns back to the pits. Same with Ogilvy, Devin Anthony, and Isaiah Horde. So now just the 77 and the 52 remain. And a big slide there from Arnold going through turn 8. That will slow down the Porsche's time and cost him the effort right at the end of the qualifying session. Now Zawisa, the final driver with a say in the qualifying order. Needs a second to get to Natasan and qualify inside the top 3. A little bit bumpy on the exit curbs, but the Ferrari handles it well. Breaking down the gear, downshifting to get the engine braking through the corner. Now back on power. It's gonna be a close effort here for Zawisa, and he gets to within 0.4 of Natasan, but can't quite get into the top 3. It will still be a second row start for the number 52. Now with the grid getting ready, 3 minutes for them to get the setups loaded that they would like. A nice early morning start here. Bright and sunny, optimum conditions out on track. Let's remind ourselves of how the GT4 grid stacks up for the start of round number 7. Tai Chin lines up on provisional pole in an all too familiar position for the 207 Tan B in and out performance AMG. Championship rival Justin Beachley alongside in the number 18 Beach GT AMG. And Kevin Yu makes it an AMG 1, 2, 3. He sits in third in the number 95. Next to him is the 327 of Tom Winch in the Apex Predators Racing Team Ginetta, starting from the back of the second row. With the top 5 start is Niall Jacobs in the Snap-on Hellman's Inc. number 47. Next to him is Brian DeSantiago in the lone BMW GT4 in the NPG Racing 778. He lines up next to Dr. Porkchop, who starts the 4th row in the number 71 Chop Shop Racing Alpine. Giancarlo Bottini starts from 8th in the number 57 Firebrand Ginetta, with Jacob Church next to him in 9th in the 1 Bigley 253 Camaro. Rounding out the top 10, Hezzy Thomas in the Dog Box Racing number 59 AMG, next to Rally Yatanashi in the 621 Dog Box Racing AMG. 11 GT4s ready to take the start, and the GT3s will be led by Isaiah Horde, who takes provisional pole in the Horde Racing number 56 Audi. Next to him is Devin Anthony in the Tech 1 Racing 664 Lexus, getting a front row start here tonight. Then Prakash Natasan starts inside the top 3 in the Dark Side Racing number 82 Bentley. Next to him on the second row is Sam Zawisa in the York Pearl Ferrari in the number 52. Up next is Ryland Arnold in the number 77 Cairo Sim Racing Porsche. And Matt Ogilvy, without a valid lap, he will start behind the GT4s in the number 75 Matt Ogie Racing BMW. And unfortunately, he becomes the lone BMW on the grid because we have lost Brian DeSantiago. The grid rolling for the formation lap. 75 minutes of racing ahead of us. 2.5 mile lap here at Valencia, short but sweet. Initially designed for motorcycle racing, so a lot of the curves are quite low down, and drivers can attack them, other than in that final sector, really. Tai Chin in the 207 generating some tire temperature, weaving side to side. view from the back of Isaiah Hord's car. Oh, and he goes spinning off at turn 10 on the formation lap. He needs to get back up to the start there. Clever way of generating some rear tire temperature, spinning around there. As into the final sector we go, the grid gets lined up side by side. 16 drivers, 11 aligned, 10 GT4s, 6 GT3s here tonight in round number 7. And out of the final corner and onto the starting grid, we will wait for the green lights to release us for 75 minutes of racing here at Valencia.
Green light, give it all you got.
And away we go. Devin Anthony trying to go around the outside of Isaiah Hord. It's going to be a brave move to get that done. Ryland Arnold sticking it through the 2 cars on the second row. The 77 slides up into 3rd place. For the lead, Devin Anthony trying to hang it through the inside of turn 3. But Isaiah Hord with the speed around the outside, able to hang on to the race lead. As going through turn 5, the Lexus tried to get the position on the brakes, but couldn't quite do so there. The GT4s still remain as they were in the top 3. Niall Jacobs able to move up a place to make it at 4 AMGs in a row at the top. But Ty Chin remains in the race lead with Justin Beachley right on his tail. Kevin Yu in 3rd, Niall Jacobs 4th, and now Matt Ogilvie having to work his way through the GT4 field after not being able to get a valid lap on the board in the qualifying session. Still will have to get these moves done early on here, side by side with Niall Jacobs. Botini and Porkchop were battling through turn 11. Jacob Church trying to get involved in the mix as well. And down the straight, the Camaro looking to use the power. Compared to this nimble little Alpine down the inside, Jacob Church tries to cover off the move, but the Alpine is going to fight back to the inside. The Jacob Church runs wide. Rally Yatanashi and Hezi Thomas right there to pick up any scraps, and Dr. Porkchop goes through in the Alpine to retake his position. Oh, Isaiah Hord. A moment for Isaiah Hord. Let's see if we can catch what happened here. Devin Anthony still close behind. This is for the race lead. Going through turn 7 and into turn 8. Oh, he just spins on his own. Too much speed on the entry, and the rear can't stick. So Isaiah Hord rejoins at the back of the GT3 field. He is on the back of the Ferrari of Zawisa for 4th place. That'll move Natasan up to 2nd. Sam Zawisa takes 3rd. Is Ryland Arnold also having a moment in the Porsche? He is now intermixed with the GT4s, who are having a great scrap here. Oh, and Niall Jacobs in the 47 going slowly. Dr. Porkchop trying to get around the outside. This is for 6th place. Rally Yatanashi goes through on Jacob Church as well, trying to stay close to the Alpine of Porkchop. Oh, and Ryland Arnold off in the gravel behind the 77. Off on the exit of turn 8. Isaiah Horde getting through Sam Zawisa to retake a place on the podium. He now has a 6-second gap to make up to Prakash Natasan to get back to 2nd. The two Janetta side by side. Bottini down the inside of turn 2. Can he hold on to it here? The inside will switch to Tom Winch, who's going to be able to hold on to this one, it looks like. But Bottini sends it down the inside of turn 5. While these two continue to battle, that will allow Niall Jacobs, Dr. Porkchop, Rally Yatanashi to get closer and closer to the battling Janettas. They are battling for 4th and 5th. Tom Winch in 4th. The Firebrand Janetta of Bottini in 5th. The Niall Jacobs 6th. Dr. Porkchop 7th. Rally Yatanashi in 8th. And Ogilvy goes into the pit lane early on here in the 75 BMW. These cars battling, they've opened up, or the top 3 have been able to open up an 8.5-second gap over Tom Winch, who's going a bit slowly on the exit there, but parking his car on the inside doesn't give Bottini any room to attack down the apex. What the back of Tom Winch's Janetta is seeing. Well, Jacobs running a touch deep on the entry of turn 11. unfortunately, now we've lost the second BMW, Ogilvy, out of the pits. So no luck for the BMW drivers today. Brian DeSantiago out before the race started, and Ogilvy out in the first 10 minutes. Ginettas have been able to open up some space. The 56 yellow flags again for Horde. What happened here to the Audi? It's looking nice and dandy so far. Ferrari's too far behind for contact. Oh, he just bounces over the curbs at turn 12. And Sam Zawisa has to take evasive action and go to the gravel as well. So the 52 gets back ahead for a podium position. The gap between Natasan and Zawisa in third is now 10 seconds. Dr. Porkchop got ahead of Niall Jacobs. Rally Yatanashi looking to follow as well as Bottini goes to the pits to try and get the undercut done on Tom Winch. Going through turn one, all is still the same. Niall Jacobs sniffing the back end of the Alpine, but no room through. Dr. Porkchop making that little Alpine as wide as possible, attacking the apex once again there through turn four. No way through for Niall Jacobs. Unless it's here at turn 6. He's thinking about it. A slight overlap between the two, but Porkchop able to carry the speed through the corner and get down on power quicker. But now down the inside of turn 8, Niall Jacobs is going to fight it, but Dr. Porkchop with the cornering speed almost had the grip to keep the position around the outside, but he is now forced to tuck in behind, with Rally Yatanashi getting close as well. Out of the corner, Dr. Porkchop trying to get the top speed he needs to fight down the inside of turn 1, but the AMG is gonna be mightier than the Alpine and he gets ahead. But through turn 1, Dr. Porkchop can carry a lot more speed, and he has the inside for turn 2. The hairpin coming up, can he get by? Has the inside, but the inside will turn into the outside when they arrive at turn 4. The 47 still has the nose in, sticks it in on the brakes. The 71 carries the speed around the outside, has a car length ahead, and will stay in front. Rally Yatanashi with a front row seat to this battle, but also wants to get the 621 in the mix as well. .47 thinking about the send down the inside, the 71 anticipating it, running a little bit deep into the corner, but still hanging on to the position. But Niall Jacobs is the one that runs deep now, as he will give up the position to Rally Yatanashi. Up a place goes the 621. Jacobs has seen enough. He goes to the pits to try and get the undercut done on Yatanashi and Porkchop in front. Jacob Church back on the attack in the 253. And here, let's ride on board with the 253 as he is getting into battle with the 59 of Hezzy Thomas. There's Devin Anthony, the race leader, going through on the left-hand side in the Lexus. He'll get ahead of Hezzy Thomas as well. Hezzy Thomas runs a bit deep, but Jacob Church follows him there. So no advantage either way. Tassan in the Bentley's driver in second place there. He will work his way through Jacob Church in the Camaro and Hezzy Thomas up ahead of him. The top two in the GT4 class still just separated by 1 second. Not the widest of tracks for a GT3 to get through a GT4. Only really great opportunity is down the main straight. Oh, and Ryland Arnold goes sliding in through the corner, nearly tapping the rear end of Beachley, causing him to go spinning. But the 77 ends up in the gravel, and the 18 continues on. Isaiah Horde back within a second of Zawisa for a spot on the podium. Arnold returning to the pit lane. Oh, and Zawisa with the late call to go to the pits, nearly taking Jacob Church with him. That was a close call. Let's see if we can catch that again. See what it looked like from Jacob Church's car, and actually. And there's Zawisa with the late dive across. And there's Zawisa still in the pits, letting the crew get to work. Jacob Church back on the tail of Hezzy Thomas. .253 has gotten close to the 59 a few times, but just no way through on any of those opportunities. Tom Winch in the 327. Janetta pulls into the pit lane. We'll see where he comes out relative to Giancarlo Bottini, as those two were battling it out before the 57 came into the pits about 10 minutes ago. We'll see if all that free running for the 57 has allowed him to close down on Tom Winch. Bottini's out of the final corner now. Tom Winch still in the pit lane. Down the start-finish straight goes the 57, 327, just getting dropped, and the 57 will get the undercut done. But the 57 did not take any tires during the pit stop, so he will be at a bit of a disadvantage during this stint, while the 327 can run on that fresh rubber. And exactly a 5-second gap between them is that gap 4 tires that Tom Winch added to his pit stop that Giancarlo Bottini did not. So now, with these 13-lap-old tires, can Bottini maintain the pace to stay ahead of Tom Winch until the next set of stops? Justin Beachley into the pits from second. Yatanashi and Hezzy Thomas still separated by about a second. Now the pit lane pretty full of activity. The 207 and 95 AMGs going into the pits. That's first place in the GT4's Ty Chin and Kevin Yu driving in third before both him and Beachley came into the pits. Rally Yatanashi and Hezi Thomas joining the party. The AMG pit crew's extremely busy at this time. So far, just Arnold and Zawisa completing their stops in the GT3s. Waiting for Horde, Natasan, and Anthony as well. After the pit stop, Justin Beachley a lot closer to Tai Chin than before. An extra lap in hand to Justin Beachley. Neither driver taking new tires, in fact. Both having under 30-second pit stops. But Tai Chin's tires cooled down just that little bit sitting in the pit lane. Justin Beachley hot and up to pressure, being on track. There's no way through at turn 8 for the number 18. You'll have to try and find another way by. Don't jinx it, Callie. But yes, it's been a great race. Some good undercut attempts, some successful ones as well. We'll have to see what the situation unfolds, or how the situation unfolds between Bottini and Winch in the two Ginettas. But here it's Justin Beachley bump drafting the 207 along the straight. As they go through turn 1, Justin Beachley on the attack. He's gonna have the outside line the long way around. Can he get the move done? The outside will become the inside at 3 and 4, but he's got to maintain the place there to earn it. He does. He has the inside line for 4, sticks his nose ahead in for 5, and we have a new race leader. Justin Beachley in the number 18 gets the overtake done through turns 4 and 5. Now, can Tai Chin respond? It might need a few laps to get back into the right window for those tires. Just needs to stay close to the number 18. We'll have to wait and see exactly if they, or when they'll stop on their next stop, because neither of them took tires on this one. So it looks like Beachley, just from coming in earlier, got some laps in the clean air and was able to take advantage, with Tai Chin getting back up to racing speed with the tires cooling just a touch, standing in the pits. Natasan, the first of the top 3 to go into the pits of the GT3s as well. Jacob Church is your on-track race leader in the 253. He's still yet to make one of, or any of the mandatory pit stops tonight. But nonetheless, as it stands, the 253 in the lead. Isaiah Pitts, the next of the drivers to go into the pit lane, as him and Zawisa battling before their pit stops. We'll see if the Ferrari can regain the place. got his spot right at the end of the pit lane. And the 56 getting dropped, and out on track he goes. And he will in fact get out ahead of Natasan and Zoisa, so it's now second place for Isaiah Horde. Now Isaiah Horde catching up to the race leaders in the GT4s. Taichin slightly further back now, dropping back over a second and a half from Justin Beachley. And Tom Winch got ahead of Giancarlo Bottini. The 327 back to being the lead Ginetta. That tire advantage really helping Tom Winch. He's overcome that 5-second gap he had to Bottini before. Now with these two back on track together, when does Bottini decide it's time for his second stop? There's Jacob Church peeling into the pits from the race lead. He was in the battle with Hezi Thomas, Yatanashi, Dr. Porkchop. See if some clean air allowed the 253 to make up those places. Bottini appears to be struggling for grip compared to Tom Winch, just can't get the exit speeds that the 327 can. After 20 laps of running, Devin Anthony is the race leader, but still yet to come in for a pit stop as he changes that fact. Now everybody running on one pit stop as the 77 of Arnold yellow flags for the Porsche, and back to the pits he goes. Jacob Church out of the after the pit stop gets in between Niall Jacobs and Hezi Thomas. Now needing to get those tires back up to temperature. Further ahead, Dr. Porkchop and Rally Yatanashi side by side. Going down the main straight, the AMG should have the advantage here, and does so. The 621 gets ahead. Devin Anthony back out into the race lead as he will hold on to a nearly 20-second gap. Oh, but he's got to spin a moment here for the 664. What happened to him exiting the pits? Out of the pit lane. Nobody around him. Not a car in sight. And after the pit stop, just on the cold tires, spinning on his own, cutting the deficit he had to Isaiah Horde in half. Or the gap, I suppose, he had instead. Now the deficit of Isaiah Horde is 11 seconds. So just like that, making up half the time, the Audi continues on in pursuit of the race lead. Started from pole. Had a couple of moments in the first 15 minutes. But the next 20 have been rock solid for Horde, getting back up into second. And now with a 10-second gap to make up to the race leader with just a little over halfway to go. Workshop gets back ahead of Yatanashi. So the Alpine able to fight through the corners, take back 5th place. Otini in the pits for the final time, so he will have a 40-minute stint to the end. Not look happy on those tires. Race leader Devin Anthony slides through the duo that are battling in the GT4 class. With the Alpine with a much nicer gap for himself. Doesn't allow the AMG to capitalize on the top speed. Now through the corners, the AMG running a touch deep. Becoming a war of attrition here. We've lost the 2 BMWs early on. Ryan de Santiago before the race start. Matt Ogilvy soon after. Now losing the 77 Porsche of Arnold. Now Jacobs back in the pits for his second and final pit stop. out of turn 6. Yatanashi with a good run on the Alpine, who's making room for the Bentley going through. Good night, Doc. Have a good one. Hope you've been enjoying the racing, as we have now just a little under halfway left, 35 minutes to go. Track is looking mighty fine. Sunny conditions. That is not going to change anytime soon here, as there is the Alpine going into the pits. Same with Tom Winch. We'll have to see what Bottini can do here, as he tries to get the undercut done for the second time tonight. High pressure moment for the 327 pit crew, and he is done and rolling out of the pits. Comes Tom Winch. And also with a much bigger advantage than he had before over Bottini. They were basically running bumper to bumper before the pit stop, and now Tom Winch has a nearly 15-second gap over Bottini. The gap between Justin Beachley and Tai Chen stabilizing right around 2 seconds. Justin Beachley with a pretty successful undercut to get his way into this position. Was running pretty much bumper to bumper with the race leader. Came in for the early pit stop. Did what he needed to do, got the clean laps in. Had to work for it though. Tai Chen came out in front of him after the pit stop, and on those colder tires, Tai Chen unable to keep the grip that Justin Beachley had after being out on them for just one lap more. Justin Beachley goes to the pits, and Tai Chen following. It's a race between the 18 and the 207 pit crew. Thank you for Morocco for the raid. Welcome in. Morocco, and Raiders. Hope you guys had a good stream. You join us with about 30 minutes left in round number 7. Taichin and Justin Beachley in a battle of the pit crew. Beachley coming in first, should get dropped and rolling first. And that is the case. There goes the yellow 18 AMG. And now Taichin following. But still right around a 2.5 second gap to try and make up to the race leader. Devin Anthony is your race leader in the 664 Lexus. He is ahead of Isaiah Horde by about 12 seconds in the 56 Audi. Prakash Natasan rounds out the podium in the GT3 class. Sam Zawisa in the pits. And he is the last of the GT3 runners. We lost Arnold and Ogilvy earlier on in this one. Oh, and Isaiah Horde with the yellow flag once again. The 56 Audi. Oh, and spinning around once more back into the gravel. Just cannot get that car pointed in the correct direction. Natasan will get ahead and take second place away from the Audi also. Isaiah Horde giving himself a lot of work to do in this race. After taking pole position in this one. Isaiah Horde making up ground pretty effectively here. Almost on the bumper of Prakash Natasan. 1 second between the two of them. Prakash Natasan looking to hold on to what is now second place, as he has run a clean, nice and easy race up until this point. Now under pressure from the 56 Audi. What can you do, Morocco? Sometimes the races go your way and sometimes they do not. Dr. Porkchop and Niall Jacobs battling it out. These two both completing their mandatory pit stops. And the 71 Alpine ahead of the 47 AMG, but Niall Jacobs looking to change that as he goes down the inside through turn 7 and into the braking zone of 8. He's going to have that inside line. No room for Porkchop to fight around the outside. And that is going to be the place gained for the number 47. Natasan comes into the pits as he was about to get into a good battle there with the Audi, but deciding to get the early stop in and have the tire advantage to the end of the race. Well, we'll see if he even takes tires here on this stop. Hezzy Thomas in the pits as well, ahead of the Bentley there. Right ahead of the Bentley, in fact, that he is nearly sharing a pit box with him. And there goes Hezzy Thomas out of the pits. Oh, and a stop and go for the 59. He will have to come in once more for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, and Prakash Natasan running wide, and he's gonna give up the inside to Sam Zawisa for the final spot of the podium. Natasan goes from second to fourth. After serving the pit stop, he will come out behind the Ferrari. I guess LMP2 is the way for you, Morocco. Giancarlo Bottini. Now, it's a lot of ground to make up to the Ginetta of Tom Winch. They were bumper to bumper for a majority of this one. But at the end here, a gap growing between the two of them, nearly 20 seconds between the 327 and the 57. Rally Yatanashi gets ahead of Niall Jacobs and Dr. Porkchop after the final round of pit stops. Still waiting for Jacob Church, Justin Beachley, and Hezzy Thomas to complete their final pit stops of the night. Natasan and Zawisa, though, continuing to battle for that second place position, or third place position, excuse me, in the GT3 class. Down the inside of 7 is going to have the inside for the braking zone of turn 8. The Bentley has the nose through the inside of the corner. Zawisa trying to hang on around the outside, but then the outside becomes the inside for turn 12, and the Ferrari hangs on to the position. And now Natasan thought about sticking his nose in, but that is a tricky corner to get that move done. Thinking the better of it, but the 52 Ferrari will stay ahead for the meantime, but opens the door slightly for the 82, and he steps in and says, thank you very much, I'll take that place. And back into a podium position goes the Bentley. Natasan goes through, he gets ahead. I was just looking at the timing charts. Let's see if we can catch how he got it done. We cannot. We're just gonna have a replay of Natasan being ahead. And as we tune back in, the gap growing between the Bentley and the Ferrari. But right ahead of Natasan is Kevin Yu, who has come out of the pits recently for the last time. And Zawisa in the Ferrari goes late on the brakes and goes into Kevin Yu. A late move by the Ferrari costing Zawisa the time to Prakash Natasan to try and fight him for the final spot on the podium. Isaiah Horde into the pit lane in the number 56 Audi. Final visit for him. And Devin Anthony now in from the race lead. So that just leaves Jacob Church as the lone runner yet to complete his final pit stop of the night. Oh, and unfortunately, we have lost Hezzy Thomas from this one in the number 59 AMG. under 14 minutes remain, and a healthy gap for Devin Anthony in the race lead. Nearly 30 seconds between himself and Isaiah Horde in second place. Prakash Natasan in third, and Sam Zawisa in fourth, rounding out the GT3 class. In the GT4s, Justin Beachley leads from Tai Chin, the gap growing to over 5 seconds between the top two there. Kevin Yu sits in third place, Jacob Church in fourth, but still with a pit stop to complete. Tom Winch in fifth, Giancarlo Bottini sixth, Rallyat Tanashi seventh, Niall Jacobs in eighth, and Dr. Porkchop in the Alpine in ninth. Losing the BMWs of Brian DeSantiago and Matt Ogilvy, and recently the Porsche of Ryland Arnold and Hezzy Thomas in the GT4 AMG. Zawisa gaining on Prakash Natasan. 1.5 seconds is the gap between the Ferrari and the Bentley for that final spot on the podium. Is there enough time here for Zawisa to close in on Natasan and snag that final podium position away from the Bentley? opening up with the clean air. Natsu-san just getting slowed down by a bit of traffic on the previous laps, but able to build that gap back over 2 seconds. Of Tom Winch, Prakash Natsu-san, and Sam Zawisa going through turn 12 as they just look to bring it home here. Zawisa trying everything he can to close in on Prakash Natsu-san, but it just might be too little too late. And here we go in the final 6.5 minutes of the race. Jacob Church in the 1 Bigley 253 Camaro in and out for his final stop. And Rally Yatanashi, an unscheduled stop here for the 621. Oh, sorry to hear, Rally. Hopefully we'll see you back next week for the season finale, which we don't know where it's going to be. Mystery track still yet to be solved, but we will have our answer to that after the race today, with the Marble Race once again deciding where the mystery race will be for the season finale next week time. Yeah, what can you do? That's racing for you there. Justin Beachley and Giancarlo Bottini here. With blue flags being waved to Bottini. Justin Beachley has now lapped past 5th place in the GT4 class. Yeah, Riley, you're certainly involved in some good battles there. With the Alpine, Jacob Church, Niall Jacobs. Yeah, it was certainly fun to watch earlier on. And the 56 Audi going slowly here as Prakash Natasan has gained on Isaiah Horde.
Leaders on final lap now.
There is Devin Anthony on the final lap of the race. Does Prakash Natasan have enough in the bag to move up a position and get up to second place?
Pit window is now closed.
So now on to the final lap for the Bentley and Audi. Can Isaiah Horde stay ahead and bring it home in second place in the number 56? Qualified on pole, but has had a moment all throughout the race. And finding himself in second place and slightly under pressure from Prakash Natasan to close things off as well. Devin Anthony, though, qualified on the front row, took the race lead early on, and after 47 laps of running, he will take the top step of the podium. There's the checkered flag. That waits for the race leader, Devin Anthony, with another win on the season in the 664 Lexus, and Justin Beachley behind him takes another win to make it number 4 on the season. Ty Chin crosses the line in second place. Kevin Yu in third in the GT4 class, making it an AMG 1, 2, and 3. Does Prakash Natasan have enough to get ahead of Isaiah Horde at the line? It's not going to be enough for the Bentley. Isaiah Horde will take the checkered flag in second place. Prakash Natasan in third. Sam Zawisa fourth in the GT3 class. Tom Winch gets fourth in the GT4s. Bottini in fifth. Niall Jacobs sixth. Jacob Church in eighth. Dr. Porkchop in ninth place. And that is that. Podium sitters, please join us in the green room for a quick chat of how your guys' race went on the 327 out of the final corner. Tom Winch will be the last driver to take the checkered flag in the race tonight. And then we will get the confirmation of the final standings. There they are. And just like that, round number 7 coming to an end on track. And we'll take it back to our studio here as we wait for the podium sitters. And we have got Justin Beachley, race winner in the GT4s, and the whole, well, almost the whole. We almost looks like we almost had the whole GT3 podium there for a second. Welcome in, everybody. We'll start off with the GT4s. Justin, you had to fight for that one early on, but kind of cruised to the victory at the end there. Justin, you are muted. I don't know if...
I am.
There we go.
Okay.
He's alive.
Hey. Yeah, the first couple of stints were very interesting. I knew Ty had, the one lap pace for sure. This was evident in qualifying, but I kind of felt like, my race setup and race pace was pretty good, and that kind of came to be. You know, had the race flash in front of my eyes with that GT3 spinning in front of me. You know, had a little bit of damage there, but then, you know, kind of recovered, came back, was able to stick to tie, and then, you know, the second stint made that overtake and just let it, you know, it stuck the rest of the race. So would have been nice to, you know, have a little more action in the third stint, but, you know, that's the way it goes, and I'll definitely take the win.
Yeah, certainly good to get that win. Make things nice and tight in the championship as well. And yeah, look, we'll see what the season where the season finale will be, I should say, because we got that marble race coming up. Any hopes or tracks that you would like to see in the season finale, Justin?
I mean, we already ran Suzuka and Valencia, which are my two favorites, so you know what? I don't really mind. Whatever we get is going to be fine.
I just hope it's a good marble race.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for chatting, Justin. GT3s, on to you guys. A small grid today, but you guys certainly brought the action today. Devin started on the front row, got the race lead a little early on there, and kind of never looked back.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised about that. But yeah, after he spun there, I just tried to run away.
It did a good job of that. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Just good racing, and everybody, all the boom markers were pretty good, as usual.
You love to hear that. Isaiah qualified on pole position. Couple of spins there for you, but a good fight back to get up to second place.
Yeah. I was very happy with qualifying. I didn't think I was going to even touch that kind of a time, but I was happy with that. Spun early in the race, got me. I was not very happy with that, so tried to fight. I pushed too much, spun again and again and again, but eventually I made it into second, and I'm happy with that. I'll take a podium. So, yeah.
Heck yeah, my friend. Love to hear that. Prakash, a bit of a quiet one at parts for you there, but when the action picked up, you certainly were ready for it. Had to get some overtakes done, had to defend a little bit to find yourself on the podium here.
Yeah, I was in hoping to qualify in third place, but pretty happy with that. I think, like as I said, he spun a couple of times. I was able to catch up, but I think he had a pretty good pace. Both of these guys had a very good pace, so very hard to catch up, but kind of stayed consistent and kept my pace. Sam was also catching up to me. I think the pit stop kind of maybe changing tires cost me some time, but yeah.
Well, happy you were able to join us all here for a quick chat. What do you guys want to see the track be for the season finale?
If it's possible to repeat tracks, I would love Olton. That's my all-time favorite.
Yeah, that was a good fun race at Olton we had.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't mind a Snetterton race.
Snetterton, yeah, that's on there, I believe. That should be.
Or Brands Hatch. Did we already do Brands Hatch?
I don't believe it was on this season yet.
No, we haven't. We haven't done Brands Hatch this season.
So yeah, looking like the British tracks are the favored ones for the season finale. Well, thanks guys for joining for a quick chat. Much appreciated as always. And we are going to get ourselves started for the marble race. Move you guys back here to the green room. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Devin. Thank you, Prakash. And thank you, Isaiah. Always good to hear from the folks racing out on track. Let's find out what the mystery track will be today. Marble time indeed. Alrighty, random track has been selected. 17 tracks to choose from. And let's get things started. We start in the middle of July, in the middle of a snow globe. But here we go. The leader going down into the middle part, and into the first part now is Laguna Seca leading the way, but the Italian tracks are catching up. Misano takes the lead. Monza in third, followed by Donington and the Red Bull Ring, heading down into the sliding slalom parts, and now into a split off. We'll see where we all end up here. Misano, Laguna Seca, Red Bull Ring, Monza going to the left side, Donington, Barcelona, Kyalami flooding to the right. We'll see who will end up out in the race lead. There is Monza. Laguna Seca seems to be leading the way. Donington on the right-hand side, and now a dangerous bit. No barriers here, some T's, some pegs getting in the way of Laguna Seca's progress. Red Bull Ring streamlining through. Kyalami has fallen off the track, but the Red Bull Ring leads the way as we head into the spiral of doom of sorts here, with Monza getting trapped in the mix. Donington getting trapped on the far side as well. Coda, Monza, Red Bull Ring slowly working their way through and potentially into the middle. And here we go. Misano gets through almost cleanly, gets stuck on one of the spikes, but Misano through on the left-hand side. And on the right, Bathurst, the track of many walls, getting down through the track of many walls on the right-hand side. On the left, Misano leads the way. And we've got quite a lengthy race here. As we head down into the pit, it's looking like it's going to be a season finale at Misano, and it will be just that. Misano wins things for the season finale. So we are going to head down to Italy, to the eastern side, over to Misano. So yes, season finale will be held there. So in 1 week's time, we will see you there. Round number 8 to finish things off. We will head down to Italy in Misano to finish off the championship. GT3s, GT4s facing off for one last time in the summer season next week. Same time, same place here at Trackilicious. But before that, there will be the season finale of the Tuesday GT3 Sprint Championship in Le Mans Ultimate as well. So stay tuned for those next week. But now, stay tuned for the raid of El Taco Man. Doing some Spa daily races today in Le Mans Ultimate. Make sure to spread the love from one sim racing community to the next. We'll hope to see you guys next time, next week, at both the Le Mans Ultimate and ACC broadcasts. Happy to have you here with us tonight. Have a good rest of your week, wherever you may be watching us from. Stay safe until next time, next week. Have a good one. Stick around for the raid. See you guys.